Hey friends, my name's Tyler, and welcome back to my reading log. Today I want to tell you about one of the first comic books that I've read, really ever, I guess, technically. At least first complete series that I actually sat down and read. And maybe why I don't think that was the best choice. Today we're hitting on All-Star Superman. Now for context, this video's coming out, I don't know, 2 months later than when I read this. I did do some reading before I jumped into this channel, so for context, this is a little late if you're seeing this anytime. I mean, really, if you're seeing this, it's probably years later, so. But All-Star Superman, this is kind of the Black Label, but without the Black Label. This book is popular. I don't know the history of comics, just so you're aware. First comic book, so keep that in mind. But I bought this and read the entire thing the same day as the new Superman movie. Now, I've never been a big fan of Superman. I'd seen some of the original movies. I saw Man of Steel once. I saw 1 and 2 once. I never saw 3 or 4 from like the old ones. I did see Superman Returns with Brandon Routh. Maybe that's it. I watched Justice League once. I watched Batman vs. Superman a couple times. So I don't have the highest opinion of Superman. I just think he's kind of a little bit of a boring superhero. But that's coming from somebody that's not read comics. That's somebody that's seen some movies and some, I've never watched any of the cartoons. Now this is supposed to be one of the best Superman stories of all time. And I can tell this has a lot of love, and I understand why, like especially art-wise, I think it's interesting. I'll throw up some of my favorite, little snippets as I go in this review. But it really is a beautiful comic in terms of the art, from what I could tell. Although it's not my favorite style, to be honest. I didn't like some of the, I'm guessing, older style comic art. But that's not my problem with this book. I thought this book was fine. I thought this book was a terrible choice as my first Superman comic, and really kind of my first comic ever. Well, as somebody that understands the ideals of Superman, I understand a lot of stuff in terms of like he's from Krypton, I know his weaknesses, I know who his nemesis is, I know all these things. That's fine. That's like basics. I'm not that uncultured in terms of comic books. This is clearly a end of days, like end of his days story. So if you haven't read it, the idea is Superman is over radiated from the sun. Happens in like the first couple pages. He's going to be dying over the course of the next year. So what does he spend his time doing? And he spends a lot of it trying to save people, as always, but also trying to figure out how he can help people even once he's gone. Can he make the world a better place as much as possible? How can he pass on just, his ideals and help people? But I was so lost as somebody that doesn't know a lot of stuff from Superman. Like, I know the Fortress of Solitude, I know who Lois Lane and everything. I didn't know who Jimmy Olsen was. Now, since this, I've seen the movie, and I have a better idea, and I've talked to some friends and a comic book shop owner. I know who Jimmy Olsen is now, yes. When I first read this, and I had not read anything, it wasn't like there was a whole section where it's like, why is this random dude so popular? I just didn't understand. I also don't know, maybe this is, I don't know where we're at in comics, but why does Lois Lane dating Superman but doesn't know that he's Clark? Some people show up by third episode. Sweet Dreams Superwoman. So I get somebody named Samson. Yeah, so let's see here. Last we met, you were headed to the year 2061. Something about Haley's Comet. It's Samson. Another character shows up, and I don't know who they are. I'm not gonna lie. And I can get the gist. It's not like it derails the story, but there's just a lot of like I don't understand what Bizarro World is. I understand. I thought I knew of like Bizarro, but I don't know. And truthfully, I think I got that confused a little bit with Solomon Grundy from Batman Arkham games. So yeah, I was a little lost. That didn't mean that the story was bad. It's just me saying I wouldn't recommend this for somebody's first comic unless they're very familiar with Superman. And truthfully, this would probably be even a little bit better have you watched the newer Superman movie from James Gunn. I did not think this was the best starting point. I thought it was it was probably a great story, but my experience wasn't as seamless and enjoyable as it could have been had I started elsewhere, or had I maybe even seen the new movie first. So, All-Star Superman, I would recommend it, but maybe don't read this first. Maybe watch some stuff or read some stuff first. It just means more if you are more familiar with the character, in my opinion. Now, if you disagree, please, I'm sure there's plenty of people that started with it and they're like, oh yeah, I had a great time. I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. That's fine too. That's awesome. Let me know in the comments. Tell me. I want to talk to people about it. So if that's something that you did read, whether you're new, whether you're not, and you really enjoyed, you think I'm wrong, maybe I misunderstood something, seriously, just please, I want to talk to people about it, so throw it in the comments. Or if you enjoyed it, maybe I recommended this, I steered you clear of it. That's awesome, but thank you for watching this far into the video. If you wanted to like or subscribe, that just helps out the channel. Thank you for joining me on my reading log as I review some comics and some books.